Hi folks, Slavik Boyechko here with Tuts Plus, and in this lesson we're going to learn how to add clips above our primary storyline and create secondary magnetic storylines with those clips, as well as learn how to compress a lot of clips into one single compound clip that makes for easier visual editing. So here we have the beginning to our video, and I kind of like the GoPro drone introduction, but I wanted to try something different. So I've favorited a couple different parts of the GoPro video, and I want to go ahead and add them to my storyline. Now I could drag it to the beginning of the project and it will just displace everything. But I actually want to drag it to the top of the storyline to leave this intact. Or I can press Q or this button. Let's press Q. Okay, and then I have another clip here. I wanted to add that right afterwards. Okay. They're obviously way too long, so let's zoom out a little bit. Command minus. I'm going to turn down the audio. I'm just going to I'm going to select the select tool and make sure to turn off the audio by dragging the levels all the way down. And then let's go ahead and trim a little bit. And see what happens here? As soon as I trim the end of the first clip, the second clip stays attached to that part of the primary storyline, where I want it to go along with this first clip, just like a magnetic storyline. So I'd have to move this over, and snapping is turned on right now, but if snapping isn't turned on, then it's a little bit difficult to find the right place to move that. So what we can do is create a secondary storyline by selecting these two clips and then go into Clip, Create Storyline, or by using the keyboard shortcut Command G. And now this storyline is magnetic, and if we trim the ends of either of these clips, it's treated just like the primary storyline magnetically. We can add a gap, so for example, we can take this and drag the gap right in between those two files. Let's undo that. And let's extend this so that it's about the same length as our other drone introduction. So now if we play this project, we'll only see the new alternative storyline. Well, I kind of like that, but I want to see what the original one is like. So let's select both these clips and let's press V to hide them. And now we can watch the original. Well, I'm not sure which one I like right now, so instead of trashing this completely, we can either leave them hidden or we can drag them underneath the primary storyline and just leave this here, and as long as there's no audio in these clips, we won't see or hear them at all. Now I'm going to open up a different project to explain this in a different way. Here's a PBS Indie America episode that I have just finished editing. And this is what usually happens with a documentary edit. We have our main interview, A-roll, and then we have B-roll over that. So you can see that it gets kind of messy sometimes, and this is where secondary storylines are really useful. So here we have a sequence that I made over the A-roll interview.
We were in a band that kind of broke up, and then Nick and I started doing our own duo thing. And for a number of years, Nick and I toured, and I played harmonium, he was playing guitar.
Well, I want to adjust the length of some of these clips, but if I zoom in, and as soon as I do, you see that there's a gap now, and we see the original interview. So this is a perfect time to create a secondary storyline. And press Command G. And now, if I adjust any of these clips, the rest of the sequence will follow. And this is also where we want to experiment with compound clips. I can select all of the clips in the sequence and go to New, Compound Clip. I'm going to call this Compound Clip Band Sequence, and let's put it in the media event. Let's zoom out. And now it's a lot easier to move this entire sequence around, and everything stays embedded within that. And now we can double click at any time and treat the sequence as if it was just a regular primary storyline. It's useful to name the clips compound clip so that later when you're searching for that particular compound clip, you can go into your media event and type in compound clip. Let's go back to our other project. In the next lesson, we're going to talk about photos, and that's a useful place to use both secondary storylines and compound clips. Here we have a sequence of photos that I've put together and made them into compound clips so that it's easier to move them around. When I go into them, there's a lot of these clips here, photos, and moving these around independently would just be a mess. Compound clips allows us just to keep them nice and neat in little nested clips. That's it for secondary storylines and compound clips. In the next lesson, we're going to learn all about photos, how to import them, how to add some Ken Burns effects to them, and do some slight animations with them.